Hello dear students, good morning to everyone. So welcome to the online education of class 7 science. Dear students, in the previous class I have started the exercise part of the lesson transportation in animals and plants. Okay, so in that part, I have completed from question number 1 to question number 5 exercise part question answers. So in today's class, let me continue the remaining part of the exercise part. Okay, so let me read the question number 6. Okay, let's start with this. So question number 6 is like this. What are stomata? Give two functions of stomata. Yes, so this is very easy one. See, so stomata are the tiny pores which are present on the surface of the leaf. Okay, so these are the tiny pores which are present in the surface of the leaf. Okay, they are called as stomata. So what are the functions of stomata? Yes, the first function of stomata is to help in exchange of gases. Okay, so they help in the exchange of gases. Okay, this is the first function of the stomata. So next one is evaporation of water from the leaf surface through the occurs through the stomata. Yes, you have to remember here the evaporation of water from the leaf surface occurs through stomata, means you must understand. So evaporation of water is nothing but that is transpiration. So transpiration and exchange of gases, okay, both will takes place with the help of stomata. Okay, so that you have to remember, all of you, right? So now look at the diagram here. You can see this is the leaf surface. Okay, so where you can see the stomata, so this is called as stomatal pore. Okay, that is called as stomatal pore here. Okay, so this is the exit of water and oxygen takes place, okay, through this stomatal pore, and from the outside entry of carbon dioxide. So both takes place with the help of this stomatal pore. Okay, so entry of oxygen, carbon dioxide into inside the leaf takes place, and exit of water and oxygen from the stomatal pore takes place. Okay, so this is the, see, suppose the leaf. So if you take a small section of a leaf, it's in the microscope, you will see the stomatal pore like this. Okay, so now let's go for the question number 7. So does transpiration serve any useful function in the plants? Explain. Yes, so just now we discussed about this. The process of loss of water through the leaves is called transpiration. So by the process of transpiration, does it serve any function, useful function to the plants? So by the process of transpiration, does it help for the function, any function of does it help for the any useful function for the plants? So that is the question here. You need to explain. So first let us understand what is transpiration. Yes, so transpiration, it is the process. Okay, so transpiration is the process of evaporation of water from the plants. Okay, so it is the process of what? Evaporation of water from the plants. Okay, so the water evaporates through the stomata present on the surface of the leaves. Okay, so transpiration is the evaporation of water from the leaves of the plants. So what happens here? The water gets evaporates through the stomatal pore present on the surface of the leaf. This is called transpiration. So what function does it do? See, transpiration mainly, okay, transpiration mainly responsible for the loss of water. Okay, it's mainly responsible for what? Loss of water. So that has absorbed by the plants. See, so the plants absorb lot of amount of water through the roots. Not all the water is useful for the plant, so some amount of water remains excess. So that extra amount of water should be removed from the plant body. Okay, so in order to remove that extra amount of water, so loss of water should take place. So this transpiration mainly responsible for the loss of water, removal of water, so that was absorbed by the plants. So however, it is very important for the plants. This is very important for the plants, as it helps in the movement of water to the top of all the tall trees. See, because of the transpiration, it helps in the process of movement of water to the top portion of all the tall trees. Okay, so as a result, it helps in the distribution of water throughout the plant body. So because of this reason, if water can reach the top portion of the tall trees, so as a result, it helps for the distribution of water throughout the plant body, complete part of the plant body can get the water. So it helps also in cooling the plant. See, cooling of the plant also takes place due to the transpiration. See, so you might think there are big trees you can see. Okay, in forests, how do the water reaches the toppest part of the plant? So is anybody using the pipes and supplying over there? So it is not at all the reason that we can give. So the proper way is the transpiration creates the suction pull. So when the transpiration takes place, the loss of water that creates a suction pull inside the plant body. So because of that reason, the water is pulled. Okay, it is pushed to the upper part of the plant. It reaches every top portion of the plant. Hence the distribution of water takes place in the plant body, and also it helps in the cooling of the plant. So this is what the correct answer for the this question. So now let's go for the question number 8. This is very very important. So let's go for that. So what are the components of blood? Yes, so let us discuss this question. Okay, so what are the components of blood? Okay, so let's see that. So the blood contains mainly important parts. What are those? The first part of the part of the plant is what? The first part of the component of the blood is red blood cells. Yes, what is that? Red blood cells. We call it as red blood cells. So what are those red blood cells? See, RBCs we call them. So what we call them? RBCs. So we call them as RBCs. What do they do? Red blood cells are the most abundant cells in the blood. Okay, so they are the most abundant cells in the blood. Abundant means they are present more in number. So what do you mean by abundant? Abundant means more in number. Okay, so more quantity of cells which are present in the blood are RBCs or red blood cells. Okay, so what do they do? See, so these cells, okay, what do they do? These cells contain a red pigment. Okay, these RBCs contain a red pigment called, what is its name? Hemoglobin. They contain a red pigment called hemoglobin. So this hemoglobin is the one which is responsible for the color of the blood. Okay, this hemoglobin is the one which is responsible for the pigmentation of color in the blood. Why the blood is red in color? You will ask the question. So for that, what is the answer is, the red blood cells contain a pigment called hemoglobin. Because of this reason, so blood is red in color. So what is the function of this? See, so it is the hemoglobin which carries the oxygen and transports it to all parts of the body. See, so what is the function of RBC? The function of RBC is to carry oxygen and transport it to all parts of the body with the help of hemoglobin. So this hemoglobin which carries oxygen, okay, which carries the oxygen and transport it to all parts of the body. So the function of RBC is to carry oxygen and take the oxygen with along with it and transport to all parts of the body. Okay, this is the function of the red blood cells. Okay, so next kind of cells is, that is white blood cells. What is that? White blood cells. So we call it as WBCs. So WBCs are also known as the soldiers of our blood. Means what do they do? The WBCs are the colorless cells. They are the colorless cells. They don't have any color because there is no, without their hemoglobin, there is no hemoglobin in the WBCs. So WBCs are the colorless cells, but there is no hemoglobin in these cells. Okay, so what do they do? See, they fight against infections and protect our body. Yes, this is very very important. What do they do? They fight against diseases, infections, and protect our body. They fight against the infections. Infections means the disease causing microorganisms. Okay, so microorganisms can cause the infection. So in order to protect from them, so they fight against the infections and protect the body. Okay, in order to this stop from getting the diseases, they fight against the infections and protect our body from the some of the microorganism particles, from some foreign particles such as viruses, germs, bacteria, fungi. Okay, from these all foreign particles, they fight against the diseases to protect our body. So third type of blood cells, they are called as what? We call them as platelets. So what are those called? Platelets. So what are platelets? Yes, platelets are the smallest cells of the blood. Remember all of you. So platelets are the smallest cells in the blood. Very smallest cells in the blood are called platelets. So what do they do? Yes, so their function let us understand. Okay, so the main function of the platelet is to prevent bleeding. Yes, you have to remember all of you. The main function of the platelet is to prevent bleeding. See, when you fall down, immediately you will get an injury and blood starts coming out. It continuously start flowing. So when it stops, immediately 1 or 2 minutes, so blood clots. That clotting process takes place due to the presence of these platelets. Okay, so platelets play a very important role to prevent the bleeding process. Okay, so bleeding of the blood can be stopped, prevented, so due to the presence of platelets. So dear students, I hope you have understood this concept. So let me continue the remaining part of the lesson in the next class. Thank you and have a nice day.